Oh, that was a lot of fun. Not our finest first half of basketball since we started here several months ago, but the message at halftime was just challenging them to figure it out. I asked them how they wanted to defend, and they came up with the game plan. They had two choices, whether we were going to play man-to-man or zone, and they chose to play man-to-man. Obviously, going down the stretch, being down 17 was an awfully high mountain to climb, but just give our kids credit for chipping away. Carly, obviously got us going there with some momentum, and then Cahill. And then as soon as we saw the ball go through the net, everything changes for us. Our confidence level, our confidence in being able to get stops, all of that changes with this group. But just really proud of how they handled the second half, and they have a tremendous amount of resilience. They stick together. They never think that they're out of the game, and that's what makes this group so special.
I think last week you were talking about with Rutgers, they thought Vivian Stringer probably lit them up like a Christmas tree.
Sure.
I mean, what was kind of the tone that you had?
This was the tone. I was very matter of fact. I didn't raise my voice, which is probably unusual in that type of a situation, but that's not, that's not what they needed. They needed me to just be real with them, and that's what I tried to do. I honest to goodness did not raise my voice. I just challenged them to figure out how we were going to get back in the game and how we were going to win the game. I just thought we were uninspired in the first half. We just didn't have the energy level that we needed. We couldn't get the stops that we needed. Offensively, I thought we were out of sync. But what was most frustrating is I didn't see the fight in the first half that certainly we had to have in the second half. But like I said, this is a very unique group of individuals who always think that there's a way, and that's what makes them so special to coach.
Amanda kind of carried the load until Jen and Tyler kind of opened the floodgates in the third quarter of that huge run. How big was Jen tonight?
She was huge. This is a kid that, again, is playing with a fractured finger. And she probably, she had 18. Heck, she probably should have had 30. She missed some point-blank layups. She probably had opportunities to get some three-point plays. But she was huge. She got a little dinged up when we were at Maryland, and she had been out of practice for the last really 4 days. And just got her back yesterday with no contact. And I thought she showed up big, especially when we needed her, there, especially in the second half. I mean, we were intentionally going inside to get her looks at the basket.
It seemed like you went to Cahill.
We did. Their zone was, as any 2-3 zone, that the high post is the sweet spot. And we just give Cahill free rein to just roam, find the open gap, find the open spot, and then obviously her teammates do a great job of finding her because they know that when B catches, she's either going to have an opportunity to score, but she's also a terrific playmaker. She can find Jen at the low block where she can kick out. So there's a lot of good things that happen when teams play as a zone, and we have an opportunity to stick Cahill in the mold of that because she's very unpredictable, in her movement.
Much harder to get than when she fell down, for you down the stretch.
Well, it's next man up, right? And I thought Lindsay Lycan came in and gave us tremendous minutes. She didn't try to score. She just tried to play her role and move the ball and be great on the defensive end. We were switching 1 through 4 there at the end, and I thought that Lindsay came in and we really didn't skip a beat there. Like I said, give Lindsay Lycan tremendous amount of praise for anytime your number's called, you better be ready. And this was a great example of her number was called, and she got in there, and she gave us great minutes. So not surprised. I'm not surprised with Lindsay Lycan. She's mature. She's a senior. She's played a lot of basketball, you know, and she was very sound and solid for us, and we needed her to be.
Teri seemed pretty confident on that last layup.
Right, when we took it, yeah, and that's what we said, you know, two things have to happen out of this play, Ty. You know, you gotta come off that high ball screen with the intention of scoring, and we had Lex going off of a back screen as the inbounder, and we said either we're going to get to the basket and score, or we're going to use the free throw line. That we can't come up empty, and so it was a huge play in a huge moment.
You shot 83% in the fourth quarter, 32-point fourth quarter. Does this team kind of have a clutch gene when they know that the pressure's in their backs and the momentum's going on?
I don't know that I want them to have that mentality of you know. I just think that they have a fight. You know, I don't know that they're in a. Their mentality is we can get down and fight back every game. I don't think that they're that naive to think like that. I just think that they have a tremendous fight in them, and like I said, resilience. They stick together and they just never quit. They just don't give up. And it always obviously seeing the ball go through the hoop. You know that's a big part of that. And you know once Carly got started, you know, and she hit those two huge threes. It just seemed like that opened up the floodgates then for Cahill, then came down and hit one, and then we had some momentum, we had some confidence, and then Towers, you know, steps up and hits a big three as well there in the fourth quarter. So, you know, clutch, I call it toughness, I call it resilience, I call it, they just don't give in.
Because that was about as bad as the second quarter you've seen from this team this year.
Yeah, it would have to be, John. I don't know that I can think of another quarter that was so painful to watch and painful for our fans. It just seemed like nothing really truly was going our way. And even in the first quarter, you know, we had an opportunity there to extend the lead and you know, win that quarter. But we just, you know, our point blank, we missed six layups, you know, in the first half. We turned the ball over. You know, we were throwing it. I thought we were careless with the ball. We were trying to run, but we weren't running with any kind of purpose or intention for something good to happen. It was just like we were just trying to throw it head ahead and kind of, you know, see what we could get out of it. And so we got to clean that up. We got to run with a purpose. We know this when we're running, we're better. But we got to get attacks to the glass. And you know, I thought in the first half we squandered some of those points that were point blank because we were in a hurry, whether we were off balance. You know, I can remember Carly, you know, missing a couple point blank layups, just hit aheads. And so that we got to clean that up because we need those possession. I always say this, you know, every possession matters, but when you get runouts and you're ahead of the pack, you got to be able to close the deal and finish those layups.
Not much time to prepare until Nebraska comes in here and try to stay unbeaten at home. You know, what's kind of the message to kind of stay on this momentum from this week?
Not to have a first half like we did tonight. You know, the start of that game on Sunday is going to be really important. We can't get down to a Nebraska team that is, 7-4 in the league right now and several games. Is that what they are? 7-4, I think. You know, a game ahead of us. These games at home, obviously, are precious, and we got to take advantage of being at home. I hope our fans come out. You know, it's going to be a 2 o'clock game, and they mattered tonight. You know, we needed them. They showed their enthusiasm and their energy, and so it was great to hear them. And I know that means a lot to our players to have, you know, the noise that our fans provide. So. It's going to be a huge game. They're really, really sound. I've watched a little bit of film, but I can't speak on them in terms of defensively, you know, how we're going to defend them. It's too early, but you're right, our turnaround time is really short. So, you know, we got to get to work and enjoy this one tonight, our players, and then the staff, we got to get working tonight on Nebraska.
Coming to this game, both of you guys 5-5 in conference. Do you think about that much?
I didn't think about it until I was listening to 105, the country station today, getting ready, in which Greg Murray said that it was a pivotal game for both teams, you know, and said that we had a lot on the line. And I thought, wow, okay. So up until that point, no, I wasn't thinking about that. You know, I only think, as I tell our kids, put your head down And the next game is the most important game. Yeah, it was a nice reminder before I got in the car and came over here that this was a big game tonight. But they're all big games. They are. And I say that kidding. But yeah, it was a pretty important win tonight.
Thanks,
Thank you.
guys.